an axe attack on a train near Würzburg. Our correspondent Damien McGuinness is following developments from Berlin. And what can you tell us? Our understanding is that the attacker has now been shot dead by police. Is that correct?
Yes, that's right. The authorities have confirmed that he was shot dead while fleeing, apparently. And there are also reports from Bavaria's Interior Ministry that the attacker was a 17-year-old man from Afghanistan who had reportedly come to Germany as a refugee. Now, this is an initial report from Bavarian Interior Ministry. This is just one source, so we're not completely 100% sure if that's true, but that's what apparently the situation seems to be as far as who the man is. The latest reports is that at least 3 people are seriously injured and at least 14 are now being treated for shock. Now, these numbers are much less than actually we thought, because originally the initial reports were that many more people had been seriously injured. And I think this just goes to show the nervousness that we have here in Germany right now since the recent Islamist terror attacks in France, because there are real fears that a similar atrocity could happen here. What's very important to note is that so far there's no indication that this attack tonight was an Islamist extremist attack.
And Damien, what do we know about those people who've been injured? Is it a suggestion that these would have been commuters, or would it have been more of just a local train taking people for a night out?
Well, this was a regional train which was going from one small town in Bavaria to the larger town of Würzburg. And this is just a normal regional train. These are people who may well have been coming home from work, or they may well have just been visiting another town in the region. So it was a very normal situation. I think what was so shocking for people is that suddenly, out of nowhere, one of the fellow passengers just suddenly wielded this axe and started attacking dozens of people in the train. So it was obviously very traumatic for people who were involved there. Now, the authorities have confirmed that this man has been shot dead, but while that incident was carried on, that must have been a terrible situation for the people in that situation, in that train carriage. What we know now, though, is that so far there are no fatalities, and that's the good news, and also that 3 people are seriously injured, but the fact is it's not more than that, so which is not what we initially thought when the news broke earlier this evening.
Indeed. And Damien, you made the point that it seems this was a young man who'd come from Afghanistan. It's very important that we don't jump to conclusions about the motives of this young man. But of course, in the light of events in France recently, people are very concerned about terror attacks, Islamist extremism, and naturally those thoughts in Germany, where there's been a large influx of refugees, will be of concern, albeit we know very little at this stage.
Yeah, I think you're right. It's very important right now not to draw any conclusions, because we have no indication at all what the motive behind this attack was. We have literally no idea about what caused this man, whether he had mental health issues, whether there was a personal motivation there. We really don't know anything about this man at all, and we only have one report saying that he was possibly a man from Afghanistan. So at the moment, details are very sketchy. So I agree with you completely. We shouldn't jump to conclusions. However, it is true at the same time, there is nervousness in Germany about a potential Islamist extremist attack one day happening here, because it is a fact that we've seen a number of attacks in neighbouring France and across Europe. Many countries have been hit by terror attacks. Germany has never seen a major terror attack so far, and a lot of people say it's just a matter of time. That's why any incident of this nature gets so much attention here in Germany.
OK, Damien, thanks very much indeed. Damien McGuinness there in Berlin.